Hello students, today we will discuss plant diversity. Plant diversity. Eichler divided plant into two broad categories. Eichler divided plants into two categories. These plants were divided into two categories. These two categories were cryptogamous and phanerogamous. The difference between cryptogamous and phanerogamous are as follows. In cryptogamous, there is hidden marriage. In cryptogamous, there is hidden marriage. Whereas in case of phanerogamous, there is visible marriage. In case of cryptogamous, there is no seed formation. No seed formation. Whereas in case of phanerogamous, there is seed formation. There is seed formation. In case of cryptogamous, the sexual organs are invisible. Sexual organs are invisible. Whereas in case of phanerogamous, sexual organs are visible. Now, these cryptogamous, according to Eichler, is further classified into three groups. They are Thallophyta, Bryophyta and Pteridophyta. Whereas the phanerogamous is divided into gymnosperms and angiosperms. Now, we'll start our discussion with Thallophyta first. Thallophyta. It comes from a word that is thallus, which means bag-like structure. Thallus, that means it consists of a bag-like structure. Bag-like structure. Body cannot be differentiated into root, stem or leaves. Body cannot be differentiated into root, stems and leaves. No vascular tissue present. No sexual differentiation. No sexual differentiation. They are autotrophic and they are found mostly near the moist areas. Now these Thallophyta comprises of three main categories, namely algae, fungi and lichen. Now, firstly we'll discuss about algae. It is autotrophic. Cell wall is made up of cellulose. And the stored food is Stored food is starch. The example of algae is blue-green algae, green algae, brown algae. Second type, second category of the Thallophyta is fungi. They lack chlorophyll. They lack chlorophyll. Thus, they are heterotrophic. Heterotrophic. Their cell wall is made up of chitin. Their stored food is glycogen. Example is molds, yeasts, mushroom. The third one is lichen. It is a symbiotic relationship between algae and fungi. Okay, symbiotic relationship means both algae and fungi are benefited. The algae partner here, the algae partner is known as the phycobient. Algae partner is called as the phycobient, whereas the fungus partner is known as the mycobient. Here, it is the algae which prepares the food. As algae possess chlorophyll, it prepares food, whereas the fungus provides raw material and gives shelter. Now coming on to the bryophyta. Bryophyta, they are partially land plants. They are referred to as terrestrial amphibians. They are referred to as terrestrial amphibians. No differentiation of root, stem and leaves. No differentiation of roots, stems and leaves. Vascular tissue absent. Vascular tissue is absent, but they possess rhizoids. What are these rhizoids? These rhizoids are root-like structures. These rhizoids are root-like structures. The examples of bryophyta are liverworts, hornworts, mosses, also known as furnarium. Now coming on to the last type of cryptogamous, that is the pteridophyta. These pteridophyta are true land plants. They are true land plants. Vascular tissue present. Vascular tissue is present, that is xylem and phloem is present, but in xylem vessels are absent and in phloem companion cells absent. Due to the presence of this vascular tissue, they are also called as vascular cryptogamous. They are also called as vascular cryptogamous. The examples are ferns and equistem, which is commonly called as horsetail. This was all about the cryptogamous. Now coming on to the phanerogamous. Coming on to the phanerogamous. Phanerogamous, as we've already discussed, the phanerogamous are of two types. Gymnosperms and angiosperms. Now, firstly, we'll discuss about the gymnosperms. Here, in gymnosperms, no fruit formation is there. No fruit formation. Hence, the seeds which are formed are naked. The vascular tissue is developed. But here also, in case of xylem, vessels absent, and in case of phloem, companion cells absent. These gymnosperms are also referred to as seed-bearing plants. And one more special feature about the gymnosperms is that the reproductive structure is called as cones. Reproductive structure is called as cone. The examples of gymnosperm is pine and cycas. Now, coming on to the second type of phanerogamous, that is the angiosperms. These angiosperms have covered seeds. Covered seeds. That means it bears fruit. It bears fruit. The vascular system is highly developed. The vascular system is highly developed. These angiosperms are divided into two broad categories. The angiosperms are divided into two broad categories, the dicotyledons and the monocotyledons. The difference between the two are, in case of dicots, the leaves are dorsiventral, whereas in monocots the leaves are isobilateral. In dicots, the leaves have reticulate venation, whereas in case of monocot, they have parallel venation. In dicot, there is presence of taproot. In case of monocot, it is fibrous. The flowers are petals are either 5 or multiple of 5. The examples of the dicots are mainly herbs and shrubs, whereas in case of monocot, they are mainly cereal plants. That's all for today. Thank you.